Hey everybody, what's up? So, as everybody knows, we just had the unvaulted endgame event. With it came the live voting to bring back one of 6 items into the game. And a lot of people are very unhappy with it because the drum gun got brought back. Now, if you have only experienced the drum gun up until the unvaulting, if you've only experienced it in creative or playground, then it's very understandable why you would want it in game. The thing is a people melter, like straight up goes through folks like a hot knife through butter. And I mean, it has terrible bloom. Let's put it, it's just pros and cons of the drum gun, okay? It has terrible bloom, total con. To me, the fact that it uses medium ammo is also pretty much a con because I love using my ARs. And the fact that it uses medium ammo, I never seem to find nearly as much medium ammo as I do with light ammo. So like, if they would have brought back the TAC SMG, I would have been a little bit happier, but I understand why people wanted the drum gun versus the TAC SMG. And what we're going to do is look at the different options. I'm going to explain to the best of my knowledge and to what I could come up with as to why the drum gun was actually the best choice for the current state of Fortnite. I don't think it's going to be staying. I think it will be getting vaulted probably about mid to late next season, or it's going to be getting a significant nerf only a couple weeks into next season because this season's done on Thursday. So yeah, give it 2 weeks, maybe 3, and you're gonna have yourself a nice new nerfed drum gun that no one's gonna want to touch, or people are still gonna use it because it's gonna be the only SMG they can find. Because if you don't know, that's what it is. It's an SMG. If a challenge comes up that says get X amount of damage with SMGs, get X amount of eliminations with an SMG, drum gun, even though it uses medium ammo, it's a submachine gun. Alright, so I did a little mock setup of the Nexus event. I didn't make a big Nexus, but whatever. So over here, you had your TAC SMG. Beautiful gun. I remember when I first started playing and this gun was in the game. When I picked it up, I felt like I was going to be invincible. You look at it. Let's see here. It has 260 DPS, does 20 per bullet, 13 bullets per second. Nice solid 35 round clip, which is a nice happy medium between the current suppressed SMGs and the compact SMGs. And it takes almost no time to load or to reload. So, and it has a beautiful sound. I just take a second to realize how long it takes for this thing to run out of ammo. Now, if you're not used to being able to shoot a gun like that, to me feels a lot longer than what the suppressed has. It may or may not be, might be shorter, but just that sound alone, intimidation factor. Now I'm going to be getting as to why each of these options was not the right option. The sword is pretty clear. The sword was never the right option. I feel, like when you take a multiple choice test, there's that one answer that's just completely wrong and everyone knows it. And the only time you choose that completely wrong answer is when you try to be funny. Yeah, that's what everyone was doing when they were swinging at the sword during the unvaulting event. So, bouncer. Pretty solid mobility. I can't pick it up because I haven't started the game yet. But anyways, solid mobility item. If you've played any sort of creative map that involves any sort of parkour or a death run, you've seen these things in action. You know what they're used for. But in game, when they were in game, the meta, this would allow you to disengage from being really high up, or just to, get in from the storm faster by setting one up on a wall, bouncing against it, and get going. There's also cute. There's also a cool little trick you could do to set one up right before a jump pad or launch pad, whatever it's actually called, and it would make you go higher. Back when everybody wanted to get extra height with their launch pads. So pretty good mobility item. The sword, everyone knows what kind of a crap show it would be if that actually won. Or it's not even gonna, nope. Alright, so the plane. Pros hated it. Noobs loved it. Casuals, pretty indifferent about the plane unless you are somebody who just really enjoys flying planes in a game. Because first introduced, super OP. Everyone hated it because of its ability to just wreck right through any builds, pre-existing buildings, whatever, and just bring down a build battle out of nowhere. And take no damage to the plane, mind you. Then they nerfed it, said, hey, if you run through stuff, it's going to do damage to the plane. And if the plane explodes, then you get 50 damage dealt directly to you. Boom. Done. Finito. And then that still wasn't enough, so then they added a fuel gauge to it, so you could only use it for X amount of time. And that still wasn't enough, so then they just took it out. And thing is, though, is when they made those nerfs to it, you weren't able to fly through buildings no more, so it became strictly a mobility item, similar to the bouncer. Strictly a mobility item. However, this one, you weren't able to store 60 of them in your inventory. Or 13 in a really good game. Gonna come back to the drum gun. So, grappler, again, if you've played creative, if you've played Team Rumble, which everyone's played Team Rumble if you're a casual, pros play it when they want to really smurf people. But again, it's another mobility item. So in the vault, we had 3 mobility items up for grabs to get voted back into the game. Now, there's no reason why we needed to bring back any mobility item. I think when it came to the voting, the reason why so many pros wanted it to either be the bouncer or the TAC SMG was utterly, purely because they changed the meta the least. You know, bring the SMG in. It came in, what is it, green, blue, and purple? Like, obviously purple. If it comes in purple, it's going to come in blue. But, yeah, green, blue, and purple was the TAC SMG. It melted. It was a fun little gun to use. But we currently have multiple SMGs, which I have set up over here. We have the suppressed SMG, which it's a people melter. Comes all the way from common to rare. And then you have the epic and legendary variant of the SMGs and the compact SMG. Even color coded. Boom. Like I said, drum guns and SMG. So, you had 2 SMGs on the block, or in the vault. You had 3 mobility items, and you had a gag vote. I don't care what people say. That was not a serious offer up by Epic. I think people would actually swarm to it and swung at it. You would have seen the bouncer's health meter and the plane's health meter just by proximity go up equally if people started swinging at the stinking sword. So then, why do I think the drum gun was better? Was the best option, right? First, why was mobility the wrong option? You have 10 mobility items in game, or 10 ways to use mobility in game. You got the baller, which thankfully is going away. You got the cannon, which situationally it can be decent. You got the hoverboard. I don't know who doesn't like the hoverboard. You got the ATK, or the quad crasher. You know, pretty solid run in duos. You got the ATK, not nearly used as much as it was in Season 5 when it was first introduced. And everyone was going bananas for it because why not? You could carry your whole squad on it. You could power slide. You have impulses. An item that was recently in the vault, but they brought it back out because they're like, hey, let's give them some more mobility because they're complaining about not having enough mobility in game. You have itemized redeploy. They tried giving everyone redeploy. Guess what? Pros and content creators, they kind of hated it, or they crapped on it a lot because they were no longer able to third party just by shooting out someone's builds and get them to die to fall damage. You got Rift to Goes, one of the best mobility items. I don't care who you are, hands down, one of the best things to have in game. I really hope they never get rid of these, but I know they will eventually. And even though these are smoke bombs, these are here because you have the newly introduced shadow grenades, which I have used. I've only played maybe about 5 serious games of actually trying to win, whether it be a solo or a squad game. And both my wins out of like the 5 or 6 that I've played have come from strategically using the invisibility grenade to be able to get out of a situation that was not going to work out for me, and then be able to regroup, get back to it, and come back for a victory royale. And last but not least, volcano vents. Alright, we have volcano vents, which are also pretty solid mobility. Even though they're only restricted to the northeastern part of the map, they're still good. Okay, if you're you're in a tight spot, you find a vent, you get out of there, and you can get out of there pretty quickly. So when it comes to, they showed up over top of these. Right now, everyone's being a bunch of salty, or I guess I'd call that a gutter troll. Stop being a salty gutter troll over the introduction of the drum gun coming back. The drum gun is not as OP as everyone says it is. Is it strong? Oh yeah, you bet your butt it's strong. I'm an idiot. Okay, so 243 DPS for the blue, right? Does 27 per shot, shoots 9 per second. Pretty sure the reload's longer than the TAC SMG. So, see, magazine size 50 versus 35, that's a big difference. Obviously, it's 15 more bullets. 2.2 seconds to reload the TAC SMG, a full 3 to reload the drum gun. Alright, now yes, you can carry just like 3 drum guns and run the game if you have good aim. If you don't have good aim though, like, I can't stress this enough, if you don't have good aim, because look at the bloom on this Joker. Like, at least the TAC SMG. See, can you see that? There you go. Like, you see how small that crosshair is? See if I can get on something, but there you go. See how small that crosshair is? So you see, look at that spread. So earlier today, I was just, playing a team rumble. I had a guy from here to the bouncer away from me, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna get some good drum gun footage. This is before I decided to do this setup here, and I was like, I'm just gonna laser people with the drum gun, because this thing used to be just wrecked face. We were both standing still, we both had drum guns. And we're just shooting at each other, and it was like a terrible 80s action movie. Nobody was hitting anything. Now I understand Bloom is a big part of the game, and that's what can happen with Bloom, but so much more than not, if you're running around with a drum gun and you're like it's not gonna work. That's what every professional and content creator wants you to believe. Like, these big time guys that have like millions of subscribers, they want you to believe the drum gun's gonna be this, life altering gun. It's not. It's just a really good gun. All right. Now, if you get lucky with the bloom, will it just melt somebody? Oh yeah, you bet. It does 50 per headshot. That person's getting down. But you gotta remember, it does 27 per headshot. The big thing that sets this apart from that over there, see if I can ping it. Boom. Between this and that, the big difference is the drop off. From the same distance away, this thing's going to be doing, a solid, like, even when compared to the compact SMG, the P90, you hit somebody from this distance away, you're probably hitting them for like, 10s, 15s. You're still hitting them with 20s with this. And not gonna lie, with attack SMG, you were still hitting them for like 18s, 20s from this range. So, and again, it all comes down to bloom. If you got good bloom and you're lasering somebody, it doesn't matter what gun you got, you're gonna bring them down. I just find it crazy how much people are blowing up right now over the fact that we couldn't get an 11th mobility item in game? No. How dare you, casual Fortnite players that make up 99% of the game playing population? How dare you guys vote not to have another mobility item in game that you get on a regular basis throughout Team Rumble? How dare... I'm not saying you get the bouncer in Team Rumble, but like, you get all these all the time in Team Rumble. If you didn't get certain items throughout regular, game modes, then you would have seen a much different voting. Also, if they would have put real items in here, I feel that the items they chose to try and bring back were either... Okay, so they tried bringing the sword back twice. Right? First time was when they nerfed it and they brought it back. Second time was with this event. And when it was introduced, they just introduced it out of nowhere and they're like, here's a sword, guys. Go have fun in a professional tournament with it. And so they really wanted the sword to come back. I mean, why not? It's the Infinity Blade. Epic had the game Infinity Blade. Why would they not want to, bring something from, why would they not want to build on something that they used to have, right? Nostalgia. Bouncers. I feel that was a throwaway because they knew, hey, we already have 10 other mobility items. Let's just throw a bouncer. Then why not? No one's going to vote on it. Attack SMG. Hey, we already have 5 different SMGs you could pick from. We bring this back. What they would have done is probably either got rid of the compact, or they would have eliminated they would have gotten rid of the blue suppressed. I know nobody wants that blue suppressed to get taken away. If the grappler wasn't going to get brought back because people get to use it on a regular enough basis, they know if they like it or they don't. People didn't want to vote something back into the game that they can get in regular game modes. Alright? The plane, people didn't want it back, more than likely because they just, didn't really see a use for it. You're a big target in the sky. The casuals don't want to use this thing because they get lasered out of the air, get 50 health dealt to them. They can't crash through your stuff. This is worthless to a casual player. Makes a ton of noise. You can't be stealthy with it. At least, even with like the hoverboard, you can be like, oh, I'm out of here. With the baller, you see it all the time in pro matches and in casual matches. People just hang out in these things. The cannon, people like to keep it for the novelty of it. Quad crasher, people still trying to fly with these things, even though they've tried and failed millions of times. I know I have. Like, in the ATK, just, if there's nothing else, people are going to grab that. But even with all these ones, you can still be semi-stealthy with moving around. There's no reason why anything else in here besides the Drumgun and TAC SMG would have been voted on. I need people to understand that. There's no reason why anything else would have gotten any significant number of votes. Alright? And even think about this. Okay, so TAC SMG left before the Drumgun came in. Drumgun left probably right as Fortnite's like biggest base of continuous active players. Because I'm pretty sure I'm correct, but I could be wrong. The Drumgun left towards the end of season 5, about a year ago, right? Or no? No, about a year ago. It was like beginning of season 5. Anyways, so Drumgun's only like 3, maybe 4 seasons old. Tech SMG is 4 to 5 seasons old. You got people that are actively, playing. They don't care about the Tech SMG. They want the Tommy gun. You remember how excited everyone was when this thing was teased? My goodness, the hype for this thing was insane. And when it came out, everyone was happy with it. Like, everyone was happy with the thing. Not everyone picked it up. I know if at the beginning of a game, if I had a Tommy gun or an AR, I chose an AR to be able to get that first shot accuracy, and I would leave the drum gun until I got to a point of having around 300 medium bullets. Then I'd be willing to pick up a drum gun. Or if I started a game, first town you land in, you have like 150 rounds, sure, pick up the drum gun and the AR. You're going to drop one of them eventually. Now, if Epic Games really wanted this vote to be tight, if they wanted it to be like more of a vote where everyone's like, no, hit our thing, no, come over here, hit this one, then they would have put something else in here. They would have put something different. They would have put like, heavy shotgun. They would have not put the plane in here. They would have put what could they have put in here? Oh, I know, the semi-auto sniper. They could have put the semi-auto in there. They could have put the crossbow over here. They could have left the drum gun there. Get the grappler out of here. They could have left the TAC SMG. And for the grappler, they could have put well, crap, what could they have put? Shockwaves, maybe. Heck, if they wanted to be a mobility item, it could have been shockwave grenades. Best of both worlds when it comes to between bouncer and impulse. Best of both worlds. Impulse super far with no fall damage. So, or they could have put heck, they could have put regular smoke bombs in here. Or they could have put I don't know if I said crossbow already. They could have put the crossbow. They could have put what other gun was there that was relatively like a safe gun to pick up that people didn't mind? The revolver. I think the revolver would have needed some kind of buff though, because it honestly wasn't a good gun. But they have the scoped revolver now, and they seem to really want you to use it. But they could have put the revolver in here and it would have gotten more votes than the grappler did. Come on now. They could have put oh crap, what else could they have put in here? There's been so many things that they've added and taken away. Let's go here, let's go through the list, shall we? So, as far as weapons go, oh, they could have put the double barrel in there. I was personally a fan of the heavy for the range, but they could have put the double barrel in there, man. Come on, they could have put the double barrel in there. They could have, heck, for explosives, all we got right now is grenade launcher and rocket launcher and boom bow. They could have put the quad launcher in there. Let's see, or the bolt action sniper. The bolt action was my favorite gun to pick up. If I found a gold bolt, I was set. I was happy as can be. I don't care if I found one and I only got to eliminate one person with it. As long as that one elimination was a headshot, I was happy. They could have brought back the burst rifle. They could have, let's see, the LMG. They could have put the LMG End the stinking voting. Alright? People are upset about the drum gun being back. You know how upset they'd be if you brought back the LMG? They probably wouldn't be, actually, because this thing, if you haven't used an LMG before, it is 100 rounds of pure mayhem. So, 25 damage per bullet, 8 rounds a second, so not nearly as fast as the SMG, or the drum gun, or the SMG. 5 seconds to reload, which is an eternity, but it has a magazine of 100. Think about that. If it shoots 8 bullets a second, and it has a magazine of 100, that means you can shoot for, it's like 11 or 12 seconds straight before you have to reload. For the TAC SMG, it shoots 13 a second. That means you're getting 3.5 seconds worth of fire time before you gotta reload. Drum gun shoots a 9. That means you're getting about 4 or 5 seconds worth of fire time. But this joker, you mean to tell me people wouldn't be upset if you brought that back? At that point, you might as well have just brought back the drum gun. Only thing was that, if you had to go to reload that thing, you better be in a safe spot, because 5 seconds is a long time. By comparison, the gold heavy sniper has a reload time of 4.1. The purple 4.3. So your best heavy sniper, or your best, strongest gun in the game, technically, with how much, just sheer damage you can do with one shot, right? Takes almost a full second less to reload than the blue LMG. By comparison to other one-shot kill guns, let's go to, in the blue range, same as the LMG, right? Why not? 3 seconds to reload it's not one-shot kill, but this is. 3 seconds to reload the bolt action. 2.3 to reload the semi-auto. And that thing shot like 10 at a time. Obviously not at once, but pop, 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 pop. Shot 10. Each one doing 78, or it was like 120 for a headshot. It was like they buffed it before they took it out. It was like 140 and like 170 for the blue, and then purple was like the 170. LMG came in purple too, yo. 4.7 seconds to reload. Still longer than reloading the stinking heavy. The heavy takes too long. It takes less time to reload a rocket launcher, grenade launcher. It takes the same amount of time to reload the quad launcher if you were in the game when the quad launcher is around as it does to reload the LMG. So, I don't want to hear no nonsense about, oh, this is the worst decision ever, blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's because all the stinking noobs. Well, yeah, it is because of the noobs. I know I went on a stinking tangent when it came to the other guns, but holy cow, people just need to settle down. One of the biggest things I see being said online, whether it be on Reddit, be on YouTube, be on Twitter, I see people, it's usually not the people making the video, it's always people in the comments, right? I've heard a few pros say it, oh, you gotta learn how to play the meta. If you don't know how to play the meta, then you don't, you can't have a chance to succeed. And what's that word everyone wants to throw around right now? Revert. I know you guys meant revert back to playing Siphon, but y'all just got reverted back to season 5, yo. Y'all got reverted something fierce. Instead of getting reverted by a week or two, y'all got reverted by a season or two. I guess 3, but it sounded better to say a season or 2. Anyways, that's all I got for y'all right now. Oh my goodness, I really hope if y'all enjoyed this video, please go ahead, leave a like, comment if you liked it enough. Subscribe, please. If you don't want to subscribe, that's cool too. I get kicks out of just seeing the view numbers go up, but just don't feed in to the unhype of the drum gun being back. If there's anyone you should be mad at, don't be mad at the players who chose it, okay? Don't be mad at the fact that the drum gun was overwhelmingly the winner. It wasn't even like it was a close thing and people were like, oh, but wait, I could have sworn that the grappler won, but they're saying the drum gun won? How? No, it wasn't anything like that. It was, drum gun was up here. Literally everything else was down here. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you probably watched some people's video of the event. You saw. And honestly, don't blame the players who voted for it. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I voted for it, because I totally did. But if you're gonna be mad at casual players for choosing literally the best weapon, perhaps you should look at Epic and ask yourselves, and then ask them, why would they put all these obviously worst choices in the eyes of a casual player? These are obviously the worst choices. They're not as good choices. These are the lesser options. And the gag option. No, I'm not going to accept that that's a serious option. But why would they choose any of these over that? Why? There's no reason why they would have. But that's all I got for you guys. I'm sorry for running long. I don't know how this might be a 20-minute video. I don't know. We'll see. But no edits. That's it. I'm done. Goodbye.